Yeah, probably. I think everybody was locked in on the task at hand. Yeah, we were locked in, man, so I think so.
How do you explain the ball movement and the chemistry out there first half?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, we were focused on having a great attention to detail and, coming out and closing the game out. And that's kind of how we approached the game from the start. And, we tried to set a tone.
Did you hear some of those Knicks fans in the crowd?
Yeah, man, you always hear the Knicks fans, man. They always travel, so obviously shout out to them.
I'm sure in the moment while you were playing, you weren't noticing the number and the margin of victory, but when you look at 61 points up at one point in time, what does that mean to you?
I mean, I think it shows the kind of team that we are, what we can be. We knew we kind of gave 2 games away, so we wanted to come out, obviously, close out the series today and, build off of it.
And how important was it to close it out today and not go for a game 7 back to back?
Yeah, I mean, that was the plan. That was the plan.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
Mikal, just the way he came out tonight, how good was it to see his confidence early on?
It was huge. He obviously helped set a tone, and then coming out of halftime, he had that aggressive mindset and set a tone to start the second half, which sometimes is even harder, especially when you have a lead like that, because obviously minds start to wander, focuses a little shaky. So he came and set a good tone on to start both halves.
How does it boost your confidence as a team when you play the way you play tonight, offensively and defensively?
I don't think it boosts any confidence. I think it just reinforces the kind of team that we have, the players that we have, the coaches that we have.
Can you put your finger on?
Go ahead. Josh, kind of with that, you guys, you've been a lot of part of big wins with this franchise. Where's this rank in terms of just like crowd? There's been times during the season when this team's attention to detail and focus wasn't always there, and it could have easily not been there tonight with the way you guys have handled them the last 2 games.
Yeah, it was huge for us just because, like I said, we felt like we gave 2 games away, and we wanted to come out here with a great attention to detail, great focus from the jump, and I feel like our start to the games have been, pretty good this series, and that's something that, we wanted to set a tone from the beginning.
Brandon,
Josh, you talk about starts to games. They're good, and then there's a game like today where it's 35-6 run of it. Just kind of, is that as good as you guys can be, or what you picture in your mind of what Josh can do?
Yeah, that's something where it shows what we can do, and now we have to continue to build off of it. So now we can't sit there and not do it, because we know we have what it takes to do it.
Josh, sorry if you were asked already.
It seemed like something clicked defensively the last 3 games. What do you like about your guys' performance on that side?
Yeah, I mean, I think for starters, I think Cat was amazing. To start the game, blitzing, protecting the rim. You have some big blocks. So his energy was huge for us, and I just think the physicality, attention to detail, focus on the game plan. I think all of those are at a very high level, and now, like I said, we have to continue to build. Watch, I guess what it looked like, probably Game 7 Saturday, and see, and focus on who we have.
It seemed like having
Mikal 10 for 12, caught the alley-oop, big offensive game. How good was that to see?
That's our guy. And whenever he comes out aggressive, that adds another dimension to this team. And he's someone that we count on. It's someone that we need, to make a run. So great to see him being aggressive. Picking his spots and those kind of things.
the way you guys came out in that first quarter, 35-6 run. Is that about as good as everything you can imagine this team to be?
Yeah, just I think our mindset is go out there and play desperate. They're a really good team, really well coached, and couldn't let them get confidence, especially at home. So go out there and play desperate.
How much fun is it when the team's got it going the way it did in the first half and making history tonight with the largest lead at the half in the playoffs?
Yeah, it's fun, man. I think just getting stops, being connected, everybody on the string, and then just getting out in transition and offense, just flowing, moving it, and just playing off one another.
And what about for you offensively? When you got it going and you're looking at the bench, getting fired up, you guys all feeding off of each other?
Yeah, just doing whatever it takes to win. That's pretty much it, and just go do it for those guys.
Mikal, what do you think changed with this team once you guys got down 2-1?
I mean, just even more sense of urgency. And that's really it. Just kept battling, and know it's going to be, first to 4. And just keep fighting.
OG's had a dominant series. What did you see from him that impressed you on the floor?
Yeah, just doing everything. I mean, just scoring, defense, rebounding, making plays. He's doing everything out there, and that's what we need. And I think he's going to continue to do that for us.
Mikal, what does it do for you guys as a group when OG gets going early the way he did tonight?
Yeah, it's great, man. It's great. Just got us going, got us flowing. And we kept getting stops, but his offense got us, really locked in and got us really in a good mood.
Do you remember the last time you were part of such a one-sided game like this?
Yeah, when I was in Phoenix and I lost.
So this is a better memory.
Yeah.
Mikal, sorry if you answered, but to get going like this offensively, how good is that for confidence and moving forward and stuff like that?
It's good. I feel like I'm always confident. Just, I was happy to go out there and get the win.
How important was it to end it tonight?
It was great. Real important. Really good team, and didn't want to force the game 7. And get us, hopefully extra day of rest.
What do you feel like having a string of games like this, 3 in a row, the 3 biggest back-to-back wins in franchise history, says about you guys as a group?
Just continue to play hard and keep doing what we're doing, playing as a team, and staying with it.